Hi, Gant and Laurence. What is the future for TensorFlow.js? Can explainable AI play a role in improving TensorFlow.js? Ooh, that's good. Lawrence, do you want to give everybody a premise of what explainable AI is?
Yeah, so the idea of explainable AI is so that sometimes, like if a model comes up with an inference, that there's a way that you can audit why it came up with that inference. And so, for example, with graphical models, if it's classified, to use the chainsaw example that Grant just gave us, is like, if you show a picture and it's like full of chainsaws and it's this is a chainsaw and this is a chainsaw and this is a guy wearing a hockey mask, then the idea is that, like, why did it like go to those particular pixels to say that it's a chainsaw?
Yeah.
And there's types of models that you can use to kind of almost do like a backwards inference through the model, so you can see why it did that. So being able to explain that and interpret that is very, very important, and that's really the idea behind explainable AI. Can I tell a story about that, actually?
Please,
I don't know if we have time. So one of my favorite stories that really labels the point about this, I don't know if it's true, but it's one that I read, and I hope it's true. And it was from years ago that the U.S. Army engaged with a group of, the one, right?
I know the story. It's a great one.
And they engaged with like a group of people to see if they could build a classifier to determine a camouflaged tank. To look at images in camouflage tanks. So they got a bunch of researchers, and then these researchers, they gave them a tank. How much fun would that be, right? And to go and take a whole bunch of photographs of this tank one day, and then on another day they gave them a camouflage net that goes over the tank, and they drive it around the woods and take a bunch of photographs of that. And then they used all this data to train a model, and then they trained the model, and they looked at the accuracy numbers coming out of the model. You split your data into training, test, validation, and they looked at the validation numbers, and it looked really, really, really good.
Yeah.
So they brought it back to the generals or whomever it was that commissioned it, and these folks were like, "Oh, this is amazing! This could change the future." And so then they put it out in the field, and it failed miserably. And the reason why it failed miserably, and it took a lot, this was before explainable AI techniques were out there, that it took one bright-eyed guy to take a look at the data and realize that the day that they took the pictures of the tank without the camouflage net was sunny, and the day with the camouflage net was cloudy. So instead of building a tank camouflage detector, they built a cloudy sky detector instead.